This is question number 2 from geometry homework number 6. The question says, what do the following two equations represent? So our choices are parallel, perpendicular, equal, or neither. In order to figure out what these lines are, we need to be able to know the slope and the y-intercept, because then we can say, are they the same and different, negative or reciprocal, etc. Right now, they're not in slope-intercept form, so we want to get it into that y equals mx plus b format, and then we can compare them. So I'm going to start with this first one, negative x, and we know that if there's a variable that doesn't have a number, it's technically 1. So I'm going to say negative 1x minus 3y equals negative 1. Draw my line for the equal sign, and I'm trying to get y all by itself. So right now we have this negative 1x that's hanging out here. I need to add 1x on both sides. This cancels, and I'm left with negative 3y equals, I'm going to write the x part first just so it can match this format where the x comes first. So 1x minus 1. The negative 1 comes from right here. Then I have negative 3 being multiplied by y. So to undo that, I need to divide by negative 3 on both sides. This cancels, and I'm left with y equals. Then we have a positive divided by a negative, so that's going to give me a negative. And then 1x divided by 3, so that would be 1 over 3x. Then I have negative divided by negative, that will give me a positive. And I'm left with 1 divided by 3, which will give me just a fraction 1 over 3. So this is the y equals mx plus b format for that equation right here. Now we need to put this one also into y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to say 9x minus 3y equals 2. I need to get y by itself again to get it into this format. Right now I have a positive 9y, so I need to subtract, or 9x, subtract 9x, there we go. Subtract 9x on both sides. This cancels, and I'm left with negative 3y equals, I'm going to write my x first, so negative 9x, and then this right here would be a positive 2, plus 2. So then I have negative 3 being multiplied by y. I need to divide by negative 3 on both sides. This cancels, and I'm left with y equals, then we'll do one term at a time. I have negative divided by negative, which will give me a positive. So you could write the plus sign if you wanted to, or you can just leave it blank. And then 9 divided by 3 would be 3. So this is just going to be 3x. And then we have 2 divided by negative 3. Well, a positive divided by a negative is going to be a negative. And then we can just keep our fraction, 2 over 3. So this is the y equals mx plus b format for this equation up here. And now if we look back to our notes from today, we said if they have the same slope, they can either be parallel or equal. So if we look here, our slope in this one is negative 1/3. In this one, it's positive 3. So if I look at those two slopes separately, negative 1/3 and positive 3, those are the negative reciprocal. Because if I took this one and I turned it into positive, that would be positive, and then flip these, 3 over 1. Technically, that's the same as positive 3, the whole number 3. So these slopes are negative reciprocal. So let's go back and look at the chart here. Negative reciprocal is going to be a perpendicular, and it says the y-intercepts can be same or different. So if we look at our y-intercepts, I have positive 3 here, negative 2/3. They're not the same, but it doesn't matter because it said it could be same or different. So our answer for this one is that our lines are going to be perpendicular.